So I know everybody goes through stuff in their life, right? I've had things certainly not as deep as some of the things you guys have experienced, but I've had things in my life, and I know other friends that have gone through things. What can we do to help get them to that place where they think I need to set it all down and just listen to myself? How can we help people like that?
I think there's the breaking point that they're all going to hit and they're going to find it. It's really hard to look at ourselves in the mirror and say, "Man, I got a problem. I got to figure out how to do something about that." And I think the best way to look at it is looking at it in the future. What happens if you continue to go down that path
Mm,
and call it 1, 3, and 5 years?
yeah.
But what, not only for you, but what about the people that are involved in your life, the stakeholders, your kids, your spouse? What is the effect, the negative detrimental effects on them if you don't take charge? If you don't do something? Maybe you've tried things, and that's awesome if you have, and maybe you haven't. And I think that's how we would frame it,
Mhm.
is just look down the road a little bit. And
Yeah.
sometimes it doesn't hit you as hard when it's like, oh man, I'll just be fatter next year if I don't do something about it. But then you take it a level deeper with heart disease or a diabetes, and then how are my kids looking at me? I don't work out. I just eat like crap all the time. Then when you put it in the perspective of how the kids look at, or stakeholders look at you, I think that's when we can create some real impact and real movement.
Yeah. And the clients that I work with, the small to mid-sized companies, a lot of them, when things happen like this, the first thing they think of is, I need to work harder.
Mhm.
If I can
Yeah.
just sell a little bit more, if I can just finish a couple more projects, if I can just put a few more hours in, everything will work out, right? And we bury ourselves. And I think you guys talked about that on your website, that you both kind of went back into, what else can I do? How can I get more, involved in work? And it just postpones everything. It pushes it down the road.
Good point.
A lot of times, subtraction actually equals addition.
Mm,
Stepping back, removing some things out of your life, processing in solitude, and listening to your voice and listening and thinking about what do I have going on right now and how can I fix these things. You can't do that in the hustle and bustle of life. There's no time, there's no mental bandwidth, and you're not in a space to actually look at these things. And so if you take a step back, right, subtract back, you will go way further ahead when you come back because you'll have a plan. You'll be able to, I mean, really, we keep saying processing, and that's really what it is, giving
Mhm.
your space, time and space to process these things. That's what I needed to do. But I did exactly what you were just saying is I just kept going more and more and more because really I was running away from it is what I was doing. So the further I could push myself forward, I felt like I was further away from it, but really I was just getting closer to it.